Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to more Senran Kagura Shinobi Verses as Chapter 3 of the Hibijo storyline continues. The destruction of Gessen at the hands of Hibijo. I'll never forget that day in the summer of the third grade. Miyabi and I lay in the grass, watching all the fluffy clouds wander across the blue sky, and we each let out a long sigh at the same time. I turned my head toward Miyabi and puffed up my cheeks. My father was an active evil shinobi and worked together with Miyabi's father on missions. Being their daughters and hearing their stories, we wanted to become real shinobi and brave those same dangerous missions ourselves. The idea put a sparkle in Miyabi's eyes. We each snuck into our home's shinobi room and grabbed an armful of real weapons. Once we were ready, we met up and headed for the nearby mountain. The mountain our parents had heavily warned us never to go near under any circumstances. We forgot about our parents' warnings and headed up the mountain laughing and talking. No matter how dense the mountain path became, we felt no fear. We were armed to the teeth with real shuriken and kunai. Nothing could stop us. Once we found a nice spot, we put down our bags. We readied our weapons, started dashing back and forth between the trees, and in the end, we dueled each other with thrown leaves and practiced our climbing and leaping from branch to branch, laughing all the while. Though we had prepared ahead of time with real weapons, we were children after all. As soon as it was time to play shinobi, we'd long stopped caring whether what we were playing with was the real thing or not. Miyabi suddenly stopped. She was right. There was a faint, raw odor coming from somewhere. As Miyabi and I searched the area, a black clump suddenly dropped from the sky. I took a closer look, then wished I hadn't. It was made of fused together animal corpses, with countless human limbs jutting out from inside. Like something out of a horror comic. We were still frozen in shock when it roared and charged us. I knew what was next. We were going to die. That monster was going to kill us. My body locked up in terror. All I could do was squeeze my eyes shut. But the pain never came, and the monster's cries fell silent. Still terrified, I slowly opened one eye, then the other. I couldn't quite comprehend what I saw. The monster was on the ground, chopped into lifeless pieces. Miyabi's father was there, clutching her to his chest. And right beside them lay Miyabi's mother, or rather her headless corpse. Afterwards, her father told me everything. I apologized to Miyabi over and over again. I told her how sorry I was. If I hadn't asked to play Shinobi, her mother would still be alive. But Miyabi never blamed me.
私に対して後ろめたいことがあるのなら、お前も強い忍びになってくれ。それが母さんの仇を討つことにつながるのだから。
That's when I decided I'll grow strong. I'll become invincible. And I'll always have Miyabi's back. Later on, Miyabi and I were accepted into Hebijo. In our very first year, we made the elite squad. How? Simple. We both already had intense training experience. No more games. The training we endured since that day was deadly if either of us made a single mistake. All that got us through it was our singularity of purpose. Once Miyabi made it into Hebijo, her drive for power grew even more intense. Miyabi was always aiming for the top. Sometimes it scared me a little. I started thinking of her as a sharp, thin blade, even keen enough to cut through anything, but fragile enough to break. And eventually, that blade did break. It happened while we were both on a mission to ambush and eliminate good shinobi students. All of a sudden, a Yoma attacked. Miyabi had to retaliate with Blood Riot. Empowered by her Blood Riot, she became an unstoppable berserker. Even the Yoma had to retreat. But unstoppable meant exactly that. Even with the demon gone, she kept on thrashing and screaming. She looked ready to pull herself apart, as if she might break her own spine. I didn't know what to do. On the verge of panic, I remember a lesson from Hebijo. Blood Riot. I'd learned something about Blood Riot. I racked my brain for it, then finally remembered.
そうだ、結界反転だ。
It's one of the anathematic ninja arts. I'd never tried it before, but if I succeeded, I could stop the excess blood flow and cut off the source of her anger. With everything I had left, I created a seal. I focused all of my energy and aimed my palm toward Miyabi.
結界反転。
With the power from my hand, I drew the excess blood from Miyabi and watched it dissipate in the air. But Miyabi did not stop.
くそ、やっぱり僕の力じゃ。
My strength, my life, was flooding out of my body through my palm. No, I couldn't give up yet. Even if my life ended, I couldn't give up. I forced myself to press on. It was because of me that Miyabi lost her mother. I had to save her life to be forgiven. The evil aura around Miyabi was slowly weakening. It was working, just a little more. I squeezed out the last of my strength. The blood completely disappeared as Miyabi collapsed to the ground. The highly difficult anathematic ninja art had succeeded. What I had in my heart for Miyabi, that's what saw it through.
Miyabi!
I staggered over to her. She was unconscious, but still breathing.
よかった。
I hugged her, not caring that she was covered in blood. But that wasn't the end of the story. She paid the price for using Blood Riot. It clouded her mind and broke her will. Miyabi was no longer Miyabi. She was still aware, but she showed no signs of response. She didn't speak, or walk, or smile. The doctor couldn't say whether she'd recover quickly or stay in that state forever. After that tragedy, Hibijo Private Girls Academy was rebuilt and renamed Hibijo Clandestine Girls Academy. Everything around me changed. It felt like Miyabi and I didn't matter anymore. But I held on. I knew Miyabi wouldn't let it end that way. She would definitely regain her old self and keep striving to become the strongest shinobi ever. That's why I decided to take Miyabi and leave Hibijo temporarily. Luckily, there was a nursing home far away from Hibijo. Miyabi and I moved there together. I kept her clean and fed her soft, nutritious foods. Some nights she'd grow frightened, and I'd hold her trembling body while we slept. I swore I'd find a way to cure her, to bring her back. Whatever I had to do, however long it took, she was all that mattered to me. And she still is. Having her back on her feet now doesn't change that. It's all for Miyabi. Everything I do, everything I am, is for Miyabi. That's the path I've chosen for my life.
Sate, 僕の相手になる不幸な奴はどこだ?
ああ、あなたがイムチンでしょう。イムチン？やっぱりイムチンだ。思った通りだよ。どこからどう見てもイムチンって顔してるもんね。
お前が僕の相手か。若そうだな。
うわ、イムチンって超失礼じゃない？初対面の人にバカっぽいとか言うかな、普通。しかも私の獲物だったカツラギチンもイムチンが倒したんでしょ？マジ超失礼なんだけど、ありえないっしょ。私の友達のアッコだってそこまで失礼じゃないよ。
付き合いきれない。さっさとやろう。時間の無駄だ。
あれ？なんでそんな態度大きいわけ？ヘビジョって大して強くないのに。
なんだって？
だってヘビジョって半蔵に潰されてるじゃん。選抜チームだって全員やられちゃったし。おまけに校舎までなくなっちゃうとかマジ笑えるんだけど。
それは過去のヘビジョだ。今のヘビジョは関係ない。
でもヘビジョはヘビジョじゃん。
もう黙れ。これ以上ヘビジョを侮辱することは許さない。
ふーん、イムチンって怒りっぽいんだね。そんな人はカルシウム取るといいって友達の瞳が言ってたよ。
だから黙れと言ってるんだ。そのよくしゃべる口、今すぐ塞いでやる。
Again, another Gessen girl saying the wrong name. At least.
悪の誇りを舞い掲げよう。
At least as far as I'm concerned, with the pairings of Gessen versus Hanzo in their storylines anyway. Wow, look at this. Start working on that Yang skill bar. Who else is alive?
Shiki, 鎮魂の夢に沈むっきゃないね。
いざ火炎の魂に舞い散れ。
なんてね。
Enjoying the show? Sorry, Shiki, but your minions were putting up more of a fight. I win this one. Oh, another, is it? This time I'll hit you. It's game over.
僕のすべては雅のために。どうだ、わかったか。これが蛇女の力だ。
話と全然違うよ。イムチン、 超強いし。
くそ、これも全てホムラたちが悪いんだ。あいつらが半蔵に負けたりしなければエビショが弱いと思われることもなかったのに。ホムラたちは絶対に許さない。必ず報いを受けさせてやる。そして雅と僕でエビショの誇りを取り戻すんだ。雅に怒られないかな。また強くなったみたいだ。新しい技をひらめいた。
Alright. Gonna go ahead and end it here. And roll into Chapter 3, Mission 3 next time. So until then, thank you all very much for watching. And ciao for now. Ciao for now.